You're now rocking with the best, UNG. Radio station, radio station, radio station, radio station, radio station, radio station, radio station.
UNG radio station Tuesday night where we sponsor / get it in every Tuesday night where we talk to independent entrepreneurs, book writers, poets, directors, rappers, singers, community activists, no matter what. It's a movement here at UNG radio station, and today I'm honored to be in the building to have a major conversation with two young ladies out of the Los Angeles / Oakland area, community activists, I like to call them. One of them is a wealth manager, and the other one is a community activist. One of them by the name of Isabel Flax, and the other one by QueenEx. She has her own literature where she does poetry. She has her own company where she can help you do with your finances. Let's get it in. Let's talk to them. Let's represent y'all. How y'all doing tonight?
Blessed.
That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? First thing first. Let's talk about this poetry. Let's talk about poetry. Let's get it in. You know, poetry is the voice. Radio is the voice. Activist is the voice. You know what I mean? So that's going to be one of the first topics I want to talk about, how powerful our voice is. You know what I mean? In your literature, QueenEx, when did you start doing literature?
I started writing creatively at age 12.
At age 12?
Age 12.
That's dope right there. Was you in a spelling bee?
No.
No spelling bees? So was you one of those students that was writing poetry in class, or you just did it for the class, or did talent shows, or what?
I just remembered, I just moved to Maryland, and I used to just do what they call deep listening. You know, you lay on the floor, you listen to music, you know, you listen to the musicians, the writers, the song singers, everything. And one day I just decided I'm going to try my hand at poetry. And my first poem was called Poetry. And I remember the stationery I wrote it on and everything. And that was just the beginning of a lot of cool stuff.
Maryland? Were you in Baltimore?
No, I was in Laurel.
Okay, Laurel, Maryland. Shout out Maryland. You know, we got a lot of support out there. One of our sisters out there that owns her own magazine is called State versus Magazine, State versus Us. It's a powerful magazine that I think you guys need to go support y'all. She specializes in helping prisoners get released early for those who were locked up for a small crime that got big time. As long as you do right, they have like a 1, 2, 3 law. If you got like a 10, 20-year bid and you did good for those 10 years, you have a 1. 1 means that you ain't really did nothing, you can get out. 2 means you barely did anything. 3, you might not get out. But reach out to State versus Us magazine, you know what I mean? Check it out, y'all. If you know anybody who is incarcerated and needs help, you know what I mean? Keep the dream alive, keep the hope alive, keep the faith alive, where you can get out and be free and restart over again. This is important, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, Isabel. Now, a friend of mine turned me on to you, how you go hard with the activists out in Antelope Valley. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, what made you become a community activist?
Pretty much just to see all the destruction going around in a sundown town that it used to be. Black and brown people being ostracized like usual. The death of George Floyd, kind of something clicked inside of me, and I just decided that I wanted to protest, and ended up leading thousands of people in those protests.
So you just not getting started, basically?
About 2 years ago, yeah.
All right, now before we start this interview, you explained to me about a trial that you went through.
Right.
You care to talk about it?
Sure. So I was facing 5 years felony assault on a peace officer in the Antelope Valley for a crime that I did not commit. Went to court through it all, got all the charges were dismissed, and now I have a lawsuit with the city of Lancaster and the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department.
Wow, that's deep. With a peace officer, huh?
Yeah, supposedly. I said it on purpose.
I got you loud and clear. I mean, so that case is still pending?
Yes, it is.
Okay, this is recently?
Yes, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, with the blessings of God, you're here, you're able to talk about it,
Yeah.
share the knowledge for the next person to know what to do, what not to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now you have a calling.
Right.
So what have you been doing lately?
So lately I've been dibbling and dabbling. I started my own nonprofit called Flax Community Services.
Okay.
It's for everything that we've been speaking on, mental health, reentry services, youth advocacy programs. spelling bees. Let's get some spelling bees in the Antelope Valley. Stuff like that. Just things that mental health, counseling, therapy, things that can really activate the X factor in people that wouldn't necessarily have a dream or a goal. You know, we need people to uplift our youth, our black and brown youth, especially in the Antelope Valley, because we don't ever get the coverage that we should get.
How are you doing this? You have a staff that finds out the things that's going on in the community, then you guys go attack, or you're reading online, or how do you go about?
So I was involved with a coalition called Cancel the Contract, and so that was originally getting sheriffs out of schools in the Antelope Valley. So I met a host of different nonprofit organizations through that, the Helper Foundation, Youth with a Purpose, TCAL, Ohana Treatment Center, Dolores Horta Foundation, Gifted Arts and Activism. So we have a coalition that kind of keeps up with what's going on with the troubles of the Antelope Valley.
Okay.
So,
Antelope Valley, for those who don't know, that's a part of California. I mean, it's important that we commune our own community. All right, we have to, patrol our own neighborhoods and protect our own neighborhoods. We don't need enemies coming through here, distracting / corrupting the community. We got enough corruption going on in the community already.
right.
So it's important that we stick together and figure out certain things to do. So what you're doing is important, all right? So both of y'all, all right, now that you hear UNG radio station, we talking about the voice. People got a little bit of information on what y'all doing, you know what I mean? The poetry used to be, remember Def Jam poetry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now people would go up there and kind of do some real serious heavy material, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you do that kind of material, Queen? Or, you just speak from your heart, or what's going on?
I used to envy people who could just write about politics and societal things, because they would do so in such a way that was just amazing and profound. And like, all I can write about is relationships.
Right.
But I did tap into writing about social issues that affected me, mostly the police brutality and what I honestly feel has been like this lifelong warfare against black men and women.
Yeah, that police brutality.
People of
is
color,
something else.
period. And I tapped into it with a poem called Relax, and it's actually in an upcoming poetry book that should be coming out not this year, then next year with World Stage Press. And I divulged that I didn't want to write about these things because I didn't want it to be real.
You kind of forced though.
It just bubbled up over my 32 years of life and was like, finally, you know what, I'm gonna just get it out. Like, if I had it my way, and I didn't want to face that dark side of me, because like, this is the reason why I don't like watching slave films. I don't, I feel too much already, and as an empath, it was I had a moment where it was yet another person shot down in the car.
Wow.
And I just was like, I cannot take this anymore.
That's deep.
Like,
That's deep.
it's like I'm trying I had a real heart to heart with God. It was like, I'm really doing my best not to wish ill will on everybody. Like, everybody should just go, because at this rate, I don't take us out. Like, do a whole another reset on this earth, please, because this is ridiculous. Like, it was that bad.
Wow.
And I'm a very compassionate person. I love people, but it's been quite the journey trying to navigate through that type of anger.
So basically now your poetry is like a release. It's a free world for you, like.
It's always been a release. It's been, like a journal, but it's also Open Eyes is the name of my upcoming book, and it's really just the way that I've been perceiving things and how things have changed
Okay.
from when I was younger to like my late 20s.
Okay, I keep hearing you talking about a book. You got a book coming out.
Yeah.
Well, that book is going to be a bunch of poetry from a bunch of poets in one book? Or
It's
this is
going to
your
be
book?
just me.
Oh, your book. And that's called
It's called Open Eyes.
Open Eyes.
And I knew you was going to ask me about poetry, so I did bring a rough copy of my manuscript.
All right, well, we're going to talk about it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't want you to let the bag out the hat out the bag too much, you know what I'm saying? Because I understand
No,
the
of
business
course.
side of the game, you know what I mean?
Right.
The
Can't say
copyrights
too
and all
much.
that, you know what
Oh,
I mean?
yeah, no.
But,
You're not going to get everything.
That's right, you know what I'm saying? Stay strong with that, you know. And we're going to do some more poetry events. That's how I met you, at a poetry event. And we're going to do some more poetry events. That's very important. We just had one on Sunday or Saturday right here in the station. A couple poets came through and they talked and got it in, you know what I mean? Now, Isabel, I heard you talking about the CTC.
Right.
Flax.com. Is that it, Flax.com?
Flax Community Services.
Flax Community Services. That's your own company where you go around the community in service, right?
Right, that's my own nonprofit. I also started a business called Coalitions That Care.
Okay.
So I want that, Coalitions That Care is going to be a consignment store, a swap meet, for all black businesses to showcase their products.
It's online or physical?
No, it's going to be a physical store.
Okay.
And, it's something like I heard you mention Leimert Park a little bit earlier. There is a store on Leimert Park called Soul that only sells black-owned products in the store.
Yeah, I know the owner there. They got some
Yes,
really
dude,
nice jackets. They got a lot of.
Because I'm a part of Blade, which is the Black Young Democrats of Los Angeles. So I'm a part of that coalition as well. So, every time they have events, I come out to LA and come to their stores. Sip and Sonder is another place, a black-owned coffee shop. And it's very good too.
That's deep. She said that because for those who don't know, I believe the street is Dagnag in the Leimert Park district. That's off of Crenshaw and 43rd, Crenshaw and Vernon. You can go here in Los Angeles. A lot of people like to go to Melrose and do the shopping. I suggest go to Leimert Park. They got the same thing in Leimert Park.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They got the Soul. I thought it was called Soul Folks, but
I think it is called
yeah,
Soul
Folks.
Folks.
Yeah.
Yes, I was saying that.
They got some real powerful pictures in there, some hats, some jackets, y'all.
Nice.
They got records, y'all.
They got records. It's going down over there, and they're really doing really good right now. And we got to continue to keep that store open. It's powerful, They sponsored the station last year when we had our awards with the King hats. They got these hats that have a crown on it, and they're very powerful. And it just, we got to keep our brand up. If you're gonna wear Nike and Adidas and Gucci and Louis or whatever, why not wear our thing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's continue out the Carl Kanai, the FUBU. Don't say it's played out.
Right.
Fat Farm.
Right.
It's not played out.
Vocal.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Our product isn't played out. You know what I mean?
And let's talk about how Gucci, Louis, Prada, those are all last names of people.
That's
so
right.
We have to understand that if these people can get out in the world, have a dream, have goals, and accomplish them, then black and brown people can do the same.
That's right.
It's the environment that we live in,
That's true. Black and brown, we got to stick together, keep working, you know what I'm saying? Don't hate on these people because they're doing this, or those people doing this.
Right.
Continue doing you, create your own lane, keep working on you know what I'm saying? And understand your mental health. You want to speak about mental health?
I do want to speak about mental health. So it's stigmatized in the black and brown community not to talk about your problems. I can personally attest to the fact that growing up, anytime that there was any DCFS case open in my life, we just knew not to say too much. Like we didn't have the opportunity or the stage to just tell the truth because we were too scared of what would happen to our family.
Wow.
So now as an adult, I'm trying to unlearn those stigmatizing behaviors because now I have children that if they're going through something, I would want them to tell me and talk about it.
That's right.
So, I started therapy. I'm not ashamed to say it. I started therapy. I've been through, my life is a testimony, literally. The things that I've been through, they'll be in a book soon, but it's getting to that point to where, like Brittany said, you have to have a release. Like, it's gonna be a time to where you can't bottle everything up anymore.
Right.
You gotta talk to somebody.
That's right.
You know, it's just easier to advocate for mental health. Department of Mental Health is there to help you. The BUCK program is there to help you in the Antelope Valley. It's a urgent care for psychiatric help.
Okay.
So that center, literally, you're in and out in one day. And if they have to keep you for 72 hours because they feel like your mental health is at risk.
Oh, so this is a facility.
It's a facility that they just opened in the Antelope Valley that helps with psychiatric urgent care.
Wow. That's deep. That's deep.
Yeah, so people
Okay.
can go in and it's a crisis intervention center. So if your problem is groceries, then they can get funds to help you with groceries.
Oh, so you're like a resource outlet.
Yes, and see, I'm trying to for my nonprofit, I want all of these nonprofits to correlate with me.
Okay.
You know?
All right.
So, yeah.
That's deep right there.
Yeah.
Now you're a financial manager.
Mhm.
A lot of people
Wealth
don't.
manager.
A lot of people don't know how to manage dollars at all. As soon as they get their check, without conscious thinking, the first thing they do is go to the drive-thru,
Mhm.
go to 7-Eleven, stop and get this at the liquor store.
Mhm.
Give the child this, give your nephew this, buy some shoes, la 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 la.
We're
Next
all
thing you
guilty
know,
of that lifestyle.
Yeah.
$117. You said, where did the money go?
Mhm.
All right, if they stop for a second, maybe they can. Hey, well, I knew exactly where it went. Well, I'm gonna stop this time. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, what is the financial manager specialize in helping people out to manage their finances?
Well, as a wealth manager, what I do is I take clients and they say, hey, Brittany, this is where I'm at and this is where I want to go. And then it's my job to fill in between. And so first and foremost is understanding their budget. And most people haven't faced their budget in quite some time. And it doesn't matter, like, I don't know if you, I think it was in a Ludacris song. He was like, you know, just because I'm rich don't mean I don't have money problems.
Right.
You know, it's like, he was like, I'm in the same boat as you. It's just, you know, it's like the same struggle, but just a different cage.
Right,
you know?
right.
And it's literally, that is the case.
Right.
You know, sometimes you get complacent with where you are and you forget your discipline with your budget, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, it's an emergency, and how do I not have this, and that, or the other? And life happens. Like COVID happened, that uprooted damn near everybody. You know, so after we go over the budget, you know, it's like, okay, now that we know exactly where you are, what you're spending your money on, did you even realize you were spending 70% of your money on transportation, or,
Right.
you know, that kind of thing. And it just kind of helps people marinate on what their actual habits are.
That's deep because your credit card,
Mm-hmm.
it'll keep track of everything you do. You ever call it and say, do you want to hear your last 10 transactions? You know what I'm saying? So every time a person gets paid, first thing they do, gas station.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Grocery store.
Yeah.
This, pay
Take
the
care
bill.
of the necessities.
Right. So
Yeah.
if you can teach yourself how to do that without that, you know what I mean?
Well, see, most of the issue is not necessarily teaching yourself, because who knows how long that could take. If you're struggling, get help.
True.
I mean, you have people that specialize in this.
Right.
And so it's like, if we had all of your finances on a pie chart, half of it is going to go to your living expenses. The other half is going to go to taxes, and the other quarter is going to go to taxes, and the last quarter is going to go to debt.
Right.
Well, if somebody needs help right now, how would they reach out to you for this?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I actually have a number that I can give out now, so you guys can just text me. Just be like, hey, I need some support. Help me out. You can call or text 213-984-6213. You can also hit me on Instagram at billionaire.brit. That's BRYT. I'm on Facebook under A. Brittany Reeves. If you're looking for any type of support with wealth management, just hit me up.
Wealth management. What about some of these independent entrepreneurs running around the city that book venues to throw pop-up shops or hip-hop shows? Do you help those kind of people?
If you're making money, you need a wealth manager.
Okay.
I don't care what you do.
Especially
As
you
long as you're
athletes.
not, I take it back, I do care what you do. I don't do accounting or anything for drug dealers. But,
I got you, Donnie. So,
you know, if it's legit, you know, I'm gonna tell y'all now, I will report you, okay, if I have to. But no, seriously though, it doesn't matter what you do. I actually want to specialize in helping creative professionals because I am one,
okay.
and I know how easy it is for us to get enthralled with the art of what we do, whether it's event planning, whether it's singing, writing books, doing open mics, whatever the case is.
Right.
I see way too many creatives that are super talented and highly intelligent, and they're still pushing like, you know, $20 items here and there.
I got you.
You know what I mean? And then they're working these jobs that they don't really like.
Right.
And it's like, well, what if I could help you, you know, get to a place where you do have not only a product out of what you like to do that can actually sell and you can make a living off of, that's probably worth more than the $20.
Right.
You know, and also give you a plan, a customized blueprint of how you're going to go about securing your wealth for the future. Because it's not a cookie cutter process. You know, like just because you read, you know, Grant Cardone's book or Ty Lopez's book or anything like that, and you're thinking, this is the formula to wealth. And it's like, that was their formula to wealth.
Right.
But there's many ways to skin a cat, sir.
That's right.
And you're a special kind of cat because you're a creative professional.
Mm.
And
That's
so your mindset is totally different than the average employee or the average person. Because while you're there at Macy's ringing up somebody, you're thinking about the perfect melody to go with, you know, the set that you're about to mix for this DJ gig you got that night. Like your brain is already split into two.
Right.
So instead of, you know, focusing on just the craft and being that starting artist and you gotta have the job, if we can get to a point where our actual job is our creativity, even if it's just a different facet of that creativity, but it's paying the bills,
Right.
I think there'll be a higher level of happiness amongst my creative professionals, but also a sense of peace that says, hey, like, I don't have to worry about, am I going to either buy gas or buy groceries?
Right. You know, that goes in the lane of saving. Save the money, y'all. That's what's important. Save and manage your money correctly. You know what I mean, Isabel? It sounds like you guys are somewhat in the same lane,
Definitely.
just different categories,
Yeah.
all right? So both of you on a mission.
Right.
What's in the future for Isabel?
The future for Isabel is to have Flax Community Services, a center in every state of the United States. That's what I want.
A center?
A center.
Like a youth center?
Yes.
Wow.
I want to have a center that youth, adults, anybody can come to and get any type of help that they need and that they deserve.
Right.
So, you know, it's a big dream, it's a big vision, but, you know, like she said, if we put our creative energy into making the world a better place, right? While making money doing that, then there's nothing that can stop us.
Wow, that's deep.
You know, because I was doing a lot of activism, not for anything, because it doesn't really require a payment if your heart is in it. I heard her say she's an empath. I'm an empath as well. That's why, you know, you can't really hang with too many people, because you have a vision for yourself and you can feel other people, literally, every time.
That's
so
right.
That's why you kind of have to keep your circle small and understand that creative minds, we do think alike, but we're all on separate paths. But me and her, we're very similar in certain things that we want to do. Like, I sing, but I would rather sing for God. You know, I don't want to do R&B. I write music, but, you know, I feel like what the gifts, the natural God-given talents that I have is communications. Like, I'm going to school right now for a degree in communications and liberal arts and behavioral sciences. I'm almost done. I got 9 classes left. I'll be going to HBCU next year.
You already got
to
a
be a
school that
lawyer.
you selected?
Howard. I'm going to Howard.
You going to Howard? Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm going to Howard.
Tell everybody that.
I'm going to Howard, y'all.
We got a Howard baby.
Look, I'm trying to do
Well, HBCU was very important.
Yeah, I know.
I worked at Morehouse College for
Oh,
several
wow.
years. So,
Yeah.
coming out of South Central, my mind was street. So when I went to Morehouse College and worked there, it was a different ballgame. I said,
Right.
damn, I missed out on a lot by not going to college.
Right.
Because I used to say, who needs college? And then when I went there, my goal was all the professors, I used to raid their classrooms to get their books and go home and read them. So everybody, all the teachers, everybody on that property, they know me.
Right.
They was like, Callie, come in here.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
We got
right.
something for you. So I had so many books. I still got
Yeah.
books. And I read them. And it's helping me be stronger with the radio game.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean? Because I'm telling you, my vocabulary is like this.
right.
I can do it, I can read it, but when we're having conversations, my mind won't click to it. So if I'm talking to Kamala Harris or Michelle Obama or something like that, my mind won't click
Right.
to that level, but it will now because of the books, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The environment. So that's what that is. But we need, you know, you guys are ladies, and right here in LA, we have a lot of distractions on a lot of these young ladies.
Right.
Some of them think it's cool to get beat up by their boyfriends,
Right.
mentally abused.
Right.
Some of them think it's cool to get in a, not the mental relationship is the main thing I'm getting at.
Right.
But other thing is to work for others. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But really, like Brittany is saying, be self-employed.
Right.
Get paid for something that you love to do. Learn
Right.
how to budget your money. It's not all about getting on TikTok, ladies, and doing this and doing that. It's about, you know, you can use your platform to make money.
Right.
You can do, yeah, you know, some of that stuff is fun, don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking, you know, the entertainment part of the game,
Right.
but it's a limit to everything.
Right.
Don't go too far,
Right.
all right? Because a friend of mine, Brother L, is the one that turned me on to you. He was like, I didn't get a chance to see it, but he was like, it's a sister you should check out. She specializes in going to schools and exposing the schools that get rid of students, black students, for little issues.
Yeah. Behavioral issues.
All right, so have you done this? Is he right or what?
No, he's definitely right. So I would go to, like tomorrow, there's a school board meeting that I'm going to attend. They put a restraining order on me
The
a
school
couple
has?
months ago, yeah. But I fought that.
Are you violent when you go to these?
No. It's
Because you get a
it's-
lot going on.
they don't want me to say. They don't want me to speak.
Okay.
And so they put a restraining order on me because I was followed outside by, you know, people who support Trump, people who had Confederate flag masks on. So I felt violated,
Right,
you know, and
right.
I'm licensed to carry, so
Yeah, it
don't
is.
violate me
That's
because I'll violate you right back.
That's right.
So, no, seriously. So the school board used that as an excuse for me not to come and speak anymore. So for 2 months, I was not allowed within 100 feet of all the 19 school boards in the Antelope Valley.
Wow.
So I went to court without a lawyer, and I defended myself. Right.
Right.
And I defended myself, and I cross-examined the superintendent, and the judge pretty much said, in so many words, you know, if you have a license to carry, you have a license to carry, but Ms. Flax, watch what you say around certain people.
Wow. You know what? You remind me of a smidget of Tamika Mallory. She's a community activist also.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of sisters right now that's online that's really going hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's one of them. You remind me that you say you just now getting started after the last couple of years because
Right.
of the situation that you have with
Right.
the peace officer.
With the peace officer.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, I'm not glad like that, but I'm glad you went through that,
I
that
had to
trial
go through that.
so you can become a better
Yeah, I
person.
wouldn't be the person I am today if I didn't go through those certain mishaps. Because when they put that restraining order out, I had to turn in all my guns.
Wow.
So it was like Second Amendment gone.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh wow, like this is what they do to people.
Right, you trying
But
to say where?
And I refused. I walked in that. I went to every court date. They thought, give them back.
That's right.
And I went to every court date, and they were trying so hard for me not to go. Like they were sending me deals and emails.
Well, Los Angeles County is very good at taking and
Not
really
giving-
fast and not
not
giving it
giving
back.
back.
You know, so
Yeah.
a young lady a couple months ago, she owns a dispensary out in Barstow. On the way going to Barstow, she got pulled over by the highway patrol. She had a lot of money on her. They took the money from her, and the money was for the dispensary for her to, you know, take care
Bills,
of
whatever.
right?
Yeah.
And they took the money, didn't arrest her, give her no charges, no nothing. Then all of a sudden, they gave the money to the FBI. The FBI did an investigation. She's clean, but they didn't give her the money back. They split it up with the San Bernardino Police Department, and they offered to give her $8,000 back. So she's fighting. So I understand where you're coming from. So it's a lot going on out here in California, and we need more people like us to open up. Like I said, we got to foot patrol our own community.
Right.
You know what I mean? We need people like you, the wealth manager, to help a lot of these young ladies. A Birkin bag, okay, it's pretty, it's beautiful, whatever.
Yeah,
but it's not important, ladies.
That's
It's
not
really
an
not.
investment.
It's not investment.
Okay, that's not.
They got what's a good price on a Birkin bag?
I think they're like
Free.
Well, that's a great price. But no, on the real,
It should be a gift.
no, people paying from $8,000 to $100,000.
Yeah,
Do you know that you can purchase a house with that kind of money?
Yeah,
Ladies,
you
please.
can buy a car straight off the lot.
Thank you.
You know.
But I do want to say, if you can afford it, get it.
Right.
You should know what it means to actually afford it. Afford it doesn't mean, oh, I got
my last
$10,000 in the
yeah.
bank. I could go shopping with that. No, like actually know how to budget. There's a formula that I use to determine whether or not I'm living within or outside of my means.
I'm outside right now.
And as long as, and it's also a formula that I can reverse that tells me exactly how much a month I would need in order to make sure that I am, saving and also putting money aside for school and also taking care of my bills and,
Right.
And things like that. And then I also had a cousin who's in real estate, and he made this very clear to me. He was like, you have lifestyle expenses, like a Birkin, like getting your nails done, like getting your car wrapped. You know what I'm saying? Like you have lifestyle expenses, and then you have investments.
Right.
Investments are designed, or should be, designed to give you a return.
Right.
What return are you getting on that Birkin?
Zero.
Except for a good look on Instagram.
Right.
I mean, unless
fake
those
reality.
lights are paying you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unless you're getting $1,000 a post.
Right.
Yes.
Unless you're getting $1,000 a post or something like that,
Yeah.
unless your job is to
Right.
look good and go out and travel and do all that,
Right.
then great. Go ahead and that would be more, but still, that's a work expense.
You're
It's
on
not
point
even
with that.
an investment. Because I used to think self-care was an investment. Oh, I got my nails done. Oh, I took
feel
myself
good.
out. Or
Right.
I did this. And it's like, nah, that's just part of your
Losing
lifestyle.
money.
Right.
That's not an investment. Sometimes it takes a wealth manager to kind of help put that microscope on you to
Yeah.
help support you. But once you get good at it, you don't know how many times I found myself be like, oh man, like I'm in a bad spot.
Right.
And then I'm like, okay, let me write it all out. Let me not avoid it. Let me write it all out. Like literally go through all my statements for the past 2 or 3 months to make sure I got everything.
Right.
From credit cards to Cash App to debit cards to prepaid debit cards, all of that.
The blueprint actually works.
Yeah.
Yes.
People need to pay attention to that. Stop freestyling with your money. All right? Because
All of it.
it's going to be tough to win that battle. The bank is very smart.
Yeah,
They can
yeah.
take 35 cents from each customer and you wouldn't even know it. And at the end of the day, it could be $35 million. You know what I mean? And plus, they're using your money in the banks anyway to loan out to other people. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
They making money while you're broke.
That's
Thank
not
you.
mutual
You know what I mean?
funds.
This is important. Well, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do for the future. This summer coming up, I'm going to be having a bunch of pop-ups. We're going to be having a bunch of Black Excellence workshops. I'd like to bring you guys down, you know what I mean, talk and guide the youth and get some clients going underneath the wealth manager, most definitely. And as far as you, Isabel, right here in this center, we specialize in mentor the youth. There's a lot of continuation school program going on here. There's a lot of students, young ladies might be pregnant or fellas with no place to stay, so they come here to get the high school diplomas continuation. We have people come through and mentor.
Right.
All right, I think you'd be a good fit for that, right? And then you would be a good fit for these kids that's just about to get out of school to learn the
How to
budget,
manage
the
your
money.
money.
You know what I'm saying? Because both of them are a very important part of our lives. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I think that maybe if I would have had a mentor growing up in high school and junior high, that maybe, it wouldn't have took me this long to know what I want to do.
I got you.
So I had through the county, it was like a big sister program.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it was her job. She would just come. She wouldn't really talk to me. She just would like, oh, where you want to eat at? We go eat. And that was like pretty much it. It wasn't like it wasn't like anything that I was getting taught. Right. Right. So, you know, that's kind of what we all need. I went to a continuation school. I got expelled from high school in Antelope Valley I was bullied, and the police like kind of, you know, they honed on me. Like they knew me by my last name. They just called me Flax. Flax, get out of here. Flax, come here. And see, but they were introducing me to the prison system though.
Right. I got you loud and clear.
You know, so it's like, because they only say your last name, and then when you get to prison, they only say a number, you know?
Wow, that's deep, because they program
they're programming you
to attack us.
Yep.
We are under attack, you know what I'm saying? And that's why UNG radio station is here, where we can have people come through with the voice and actually bless us with the knowledge. All right, there's somebody out here on Twitter or YouTube who are listening in on the phones or laptops right now that need to hear this information. Right. They're going to be writing it down. They're going to reach out to you. Things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's very important. This is a platform that I created for us. You know what I'm saying? For us, by us. Mm-hmm. Come down here, spread the word. Let's get it going. Let's continue this legacy. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of time tonight. All right. What I like to do, like I said, bring you guys back so we can do a whole sit down and work it out. You know what I mean? It's been a beautiful blessing. I need you guys to give out some final thoughts for the night. You know what I mean? Give out your final say. Which one of you want to go first?
Oh, well, thank you. Now, final words. Just know that when it comes to deciding who you want to be, what you want to be, etc., there's going to come a point in time where you're going to face the risk of either staying where you are or transforming into who you need to be to receive the things that you want to receive. And you're going to get an opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to make this choice. And the more you make the choice to accept the risk that it's going to take for you to transform, the faster it'll happen.
Wow.
But just know that either one is a risk, and you have to ask yourself, what's going to work better for me? Not even really what's more comfortable, but what's going to work for me the best? Is it going to be staying the same and staying where I'm at, or is it going to be getting past where I'm at and going to the next level?
Deep. Isabel, what you got?
Okay, I'm gonna sound off with Angela Davis, a quote that she said. She said, "I'm no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm changing the things that I can no longer accept." So I can no longer accept my community not having mental health awareness. I can no longer accept my black and brown youth getting pulverized by police officers. You know, I can no longer accept mediocrity. You know, like Brittany said, it's a point in everybody's life where you're either going to take that risk or you're going to stay in the same space and never rekindle your flame. So I think what we all want what we want to see everybody do is be uplifted, you know, be blessed, and really don't just talk about it. You can really have, you know, life experiences that have made you understand what that really means. So thank you for having me. That's it.
Hey, that's powerful right there. I'm going to say my last thing. Parents, don't let the PlayStation in the high schools raise your kids. When they come home, say, yeah, y'all sat down and read y'all American history book, all right? I want y'all to understand these books over here too. And you need to know the truth about Africa, Brazil. There's other places out here that you can go to, foreign currency exchange, things like that. Teach your kids the real, because the schools aren't teaching children now, when you get out of school, open your own company. That's how you're going to get wealth. They're telling you to go to college so you can get their paperwork, their education, and get a good career. And most times, no disrespect, you know what I'm saying, there's people out there in college working hard, you know what I'm saying, I love what you're doing, but they don't even land that field of what they're graduating in. So let's teach them the real so they can have a plan A, B, C, and D, E, F, G, and et cetera, et cetera. And that's my final word for the night. It's the Big Homie Madman, UNG radio station. Go and follow/support Isabel Flax. Hit her up on Facebook, Instagram. Check out her work, you know what I'm saying? She's on YouTube, all that. check out the sister. She's working hard, you know what I'm saying? She got a lot going on from the CTC, you name it, the TCAL, the B, the Buck, the Coalition. This woman got a lot going, you know what I'm saying? Most definitely go check out the one and only QueenEx Literature. She has live poetry for you. She has a book coming out. Follow her, or if you need help, hit her up at billionaire.bryt to get your education on and learn how to financially budget your money. You know what I'm saying? You might not want to just buy one house. Rappers, if you got millions of dollars, you might not want to buy one house. Get a real estate office and open up a real estate company and buy 10 houses. Live in one, sell the other 9. Continue the legacy. Put your mom in one house. Sell your business. Get in some acres. Let's go, y'all. Let's work hard. It's UNG Radio Station for the folks. Once again, it's UNG Radio. Big Homie Madman. Until next time, peace!